So yesterday was a long day of trying to figure out how to put everything together. I managed to get 3 of the base cabinets built, and then it was mainly like getting the drawers and all that kind of stuff figured out. That took a long time. So doing this side, it's the exact same as the other side there. So hopefully it won't like take too much time. And then I can start building the breakfast bar and getting that installed. The breakfast bar is gonna pose a different challenge for securing it properly, so that it's not too easy to move it around, or just to not be able to move it around at all. Just because there's no wall backing. The only wall is just on the one side of it, and most of it is just kind of like floating out into the floor. So I've got a couple of ideas for securing the breakfast bar to the floor, and I think it's gonna go pretty well. All right, I'm gonna get started with the drawers on this side here. Let's do it. These cabinets are good to go. So if you didn't see it in the last video, yes, I kind of screwed up the face on this one, so we'll just have to replace that and get the handle on the correct side of it. All right, so now I'm gonna work on getting the base cabinets built for the breakfast bar here. We are gonna have to make some modifications to the cabinet because of the wheel well. So I'm gonna use a jigsaw and literally cut out a portion of the cabinet so that we can slide it right up against the wall. I knew that we're gonna have to do this when we're designing the house. The wheel wells in the tiny house are definitely a bit of a design kind of annoyance, I guess you could say, because you don't normally have things built out like this in like a regular residential house. So it's something that you definitely have to take into account when you're designing a tiny house like this, is the wheel wells are kind of annoying. Alright, so this is where this cabinet is going to be shifted up against the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around the wheel well here on this side, and then also transfer this distance onto the back of the cabinet, cut that out using the jigsaw, and then it should basically be able just to slide into place right up against the wall. Alright, let's see how this goes. So you can see here I've got my cut lines, so I just have to continue that down here. Then I've got the cut lines on the back. Let's do it. Oh boy, yeah, so the wheel well fits in there perfectly, so that's good. And we come to the other side, and everything looks good there. So there is like a piece, a backing piece, that's gonna cover the whole back side of the cabinets here. What they did was they gave me these two white pieces here, and I think that is what they thought I would need for this. But what they gave us there doesn't fully cover like the back here. It starts at the bottom and it goes up to about there. So I'm not sure exactly what they were thinking when they gave us those cover pieces. We have to go back to Ikea anyway, so we'll go back, we'll get the proper backing for this. What I'm gonna do next is throw in a couple screws into the side of this cabinet into the wall here. and then get the other cabinet in place and get it secured down to the floor. So how I'm going to secure the cabinet to the floor so it's not going to be wobbling around or anything like that is I just cut some 2x4 to fit the distance between the legs here, and I cut 1, 2, and a third piece here just to fit up at the top, because the distance from the floor to the bottom of the cabinets is 4.5 inches, so this works out perfectly for stacking up 3 2x4s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these top pieces off. I'm going to pre-drill some holes down through this 2x4. I have some 3-inch screws which will go right through this down into the subfloor, and then I'll just stack this one on top and just screw down through this into this piece of wood and do the same for the last one. Then I can screw this cabinet here and the one that's going to be over top of it right into this top piece of 2x4. Then it'll just be really sturdy and we shouldn't really have very much movement. This cabinet here, it's screwed into the wall 4 times, and then it's also screwed into this here. This cabinet right here, it'll screw into here, and then also into here. All right. So what I'm gonna do, 3 things. Screw this cabinet into this one. So I'll just screw it probably 4 times in the side pieces here. Screw this one down into there. Screw that one down into there as well. So we got the last cabinets mounted. We got all the drawers. Let me show you the drawers. So we got 3 big ones on this side. Oh yeah. And these little piston things that help the door shut really slowly. Like watch this. This is so satisfying. Oh yeah, got on this one here. Oh yeah, baby. So this is a very tiny kitchen. You couldn't have both drawers open at the same time or else they will run into each other. But you have enough space, obviously, for one of them to be open. And if you need to like open this all the way and get in it, you just stand out of the way, grab what you want, push it back in, and then you're good to go. So in this kitchen, we really tried to maximize the amount of like storage space like in the kitchen that we could have, just because Hannah and I are both pretty big foodies, Hannah specifically. So cooking and food and all that kind of stuff is like her thing. So we try to give her like a lot of like different drawers and stuff so that she can store all of her little like knickknacks and stuff. If you're kind of curious before about why the pot lights were kind of spaced a little bit odd in the loft area, it's not like we spaced them to go across this length here. I spaced them for basically the length of the cabinet so that they would be centered over this set of cabinets and this one in the back here, because in that back corner there's going to be a fridge and this is just like a walkway right here. So this is going to be a place where Hannah records a lot of her YouTube videos, so if she does like a recipe video or like a cooking show or something like that, she can use this as her like tiny house kitchen. So it's really cool. So the countertops are done by a company that are contracted through Ikea, so it's not something that I can do personally because they're quartz countertops, and so they're like really nice, and I don't really have the ability to cut quartz or anything like that. So it's all done through another company. When we go back to Ikea, we're gonna have to get like the proper front facing thing for this here, so that'll be covered up. But other than that, the Ikea kitchen, I know like a lot of people would say it's pretty shitty quality. and I'm not gonna say it's like high quality stuff, but what I really like about it is that everything actually fit together very well. So, you know when you're putting like your own furniture together, and like a lot of shit like just doesn't, like the holes don't really line up very well? Everything with this lined up like pretty well perfect, which was really good. What is also really nice about the Ikea kitchens is that they're very modular. So like in this space here, for example, instead of having like 3 small cabinets at the top and then 1 big one at the bottom, you could have like 5 small ones, or you could have like a different mix of them, which is really cool and really different, and a lot of people really like that. So it's really nice because you can make all these like little different changes in the kitchen just to kind of suit what style of kitchen that you want. It's also really nice for do-it-yourselfers because you can just do it yourself. All in all, I'm really happy with how everything has turned out, and I know Hannah's gonna love it too, which is really important because this is the one area that, you know, she really had full control over in terms of like the design and the layout and the colors. She did ask for my opinion on certain things, but I wanted her to have it exactly how she wanted it, because she's gonna be spending a lot more time in here just because she really enjoys it. So, all right, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. I think the next thing that I'm gonna be working on is the flooring in either of the lofts, and then it'll probably be the trim that I'll do after that. So really starting to button this up, and then we have some other custom cabinetry stuff that I'm gonna do. And yeah, it's coming along really nicely. And it's really nice to see so many people just so like jacked about this tiny house and how it's coming together. So this vlog channel actually just hit 25,000 subscribers, which is awesome. It's also really unique because I videotaped every single day that I've done like a substantial amount of work on the tiny house. So if I was here for like 15 or 20 minutes, like I wouldn't obviously videotape that. But every single day I've been here and actually done a lot of work on the house. You can see that in one of the videos that I've posted on this channel. And for a tiny house build, that has not been done where somebody has actually almost basically vlogged their entire tiny house build. And let me tell you, it's been quite rewarding to do it. Obviously, it's been a lot of extra work because, you know, instead of just like having to build a tiny house, I have to build it and also videotape it and then go home and edit it. But for all the awesome comments and support, it's been totally worth it and totally awesome. And I'm so glad that people are gaining like a lot of really good value, and they're getting inspired by seeing me do this, because that's really what it comes down to. Because that's really the whole point of this channel, is to really inspire you to take upon like new projects in your life. It doesn't have to be like building a tiny house, it can be smaller, it can be like building a business or anything like that. So I hope you guys get inspired, and yeah, I will catch you guys on the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.